He looks beaten down. He looks utterly fatigued as he panic posts throughout the day in his dumpster fire of a presidency, the worst ever, post after post, oddity after oddity, dangerous, vile trash after dangerous, vile trash. Posts like this yesterday: rebuild and open Alcatraz. For too long, America has been plagued by vicious, violent, and repeat criminal offenders, the dregs of society. He then goes on to say, this is why today I'm directing the Bureau of Prisons, together with the Department of Justice, FBI, Homeland Security, to reopen a substantially enlarged and rebuilt Alcatraz. That's what he's talking about. You know, Donald Trump, waste, fraud, and abuse, that Alcatraz was something that was overly expensive and really wasn't doing anything good. That's why it was shut down. It's part of the national park system right now. What are you doing talking about opening up Alcatraz? Oh, and then Donald Trump is posting photos of Alcatraz right now. Then Donald Trump posts the following: the movie tariffs on foreign movie productions. That's what Donald Trump's thinking about. I don't even know how that would work. When it arrives on the ship, when the movie arrives on the ship, Donald, he goes, the movie industry in America is dying. That's all in caps. A very fast death. Our other countries are offering all sorts of incentives to draw our filmmakers and studios away from the United States. Hollywood and many other areas within the USA are being devastated. This is a concerted effort by other nations and therefore a national security threat, he says. It is, in addition to everything else, messaging and propaganda. Therefore, I am authorizing the Department of Commerce and the United States Trade Representative to immediately begin the process of instituting a 100% tariff on any and all movies coming into our country that are produced in foreign lands. We want movies made in America again. In other words, if you make a movie in another country, 100% tariff. How's that going to even work? When the director shows up back into the United States, you're going to tariff the director? What in the world is this guy doing? And then you have Howard Lutnick, who some people refer to as Nutlick. Here's why. He goes, we're on it. As our editor-in-chief, Ron Filipkowski, who coined the name Nutlick, says, because of course he is. Donald Trump then posts, it is time for Howie Kurtz to retire. Every woke anchor in the business, people that no one watched from CNN, MSDNC, and others, are plastered all over his show with all really negative and fake statements. And then I am weakly defended by Howie and his group. Although Ben Dominic has been strong, the case Howie makes for me is so pathetic that it would be a lot better if he didn't say anything at all anyway. That's the way it is. Also on Trump's social media platform, lots of advertisements for Trump knives these days. Everywhere you look there's a Trump knife for sale with Trump's name on it. Donald Trump then posts late last night, I don't need to have Karl Rove of Fox News tell me what to do. That guy's a total loser who's been wrong about almost everything. Now, of course, this follows Donald Trump posting AI images of himself as the Pope, deeply offending the Catholic community and just anybody who has a shred of decency, regardless of if you're Catholic or even regardless if you're religious. It's like, what the hell are you doing, Donald? And then earlier today, the official White House account posted the following: Donald Trump AI that looks nothing like him with bulging muscles and the red Sith lightsaber. And then they go, happy May 4th to all, including radical left lunatics who want to. They say two all over again. Fighting hard to bring Sith lords, murderers and drug lords, dangerous prisoners and gang members to the U.S. Hey, Donald, you know you have the red Sith lightsaber right there? So then Donald Trump took a flight back from vacationing again on the taxpayer dime. Right? Donald Trump was in Mar-a-Lago partying it up, lavish parties. There was an RNC spring retreat at Mar-a-Lago. So Donald Trump double dipping, triple dipping, quadruple dipping while he's doing deals with Qatar for Trump resorts, while the Abu Dhabi fund is using Trump's crypto, as you have Don Jr. Doing clubs that are called the executive branch $500,000 a member to join the executive branch with Dave Sachs, the crypto czar. You have Donald Trump doing lavish parties at Mar-a-Lago on the taxpayer dime where Trump's staff is being housed. And then you now have the RNC spring retreat. So they're paying Donald Trump as well. A massive, massive grift going on there. So Trump vacations. He comes back to Washington, D.C., and he spends his time on the flight back, like attacking reporters, specifically the Wall Street Journal, because the Wall Street Journal's reporting on the failure of Trump's trade war against the world. So here Donald Trump looks at the Wall Street Journal reporter and goes, "You're rotten. You're a rotten person. Your newspaper is rotten." Watch a severely demented and dangerous and vile Donald Trump attack the Wall Street Journal reporter. Let's play it.
Who are you with? The Wall Street Journal. That's what I. Well, you people treat us so badly. Wall Street Journal has truly gone to hell. Go ahead. It's a rotten newspaper. You hear me? What I said? It's a rotten newspaper. I wouldn't tell the Wall Street Journal because it'd be wasting my time. There are talks, but I don't want to talk to the Wall Street Journal. But look, Wall Street Journal is China-oriented, and they're really bad for this country. Go ahead.
Now, this is a line that Donald Trump's been repeating over and over again. It's one of his main talking points where he goes, "Little girls, beautiful little girls," he says, which is creepy in and of itself. He goes, "I don't see why they want $35. They should have $2 and they should pay more money for their dolls. And why do they want 250 pencils? Use 5 pencils. What are you doing? What are these little girls doing? You take your $2, you take your 5 pencils, and you shut up, little girls." That's what Donald Trump's been saying over and over again. Here he is saying it on the flight last night. Play the clip.
Listen. All I'm saying is that a young lady, a 10-year-old girl, 9-year-old girl, 15-year-old girl doesn't need $37. She could be very happy with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5. I would, let's not waste a lot of time on a stupid question. What else?
And just so you see, I'm not making it up, that this is a talking point he repeats over and over again. Here he was on the Kristen Welker interview saying it as well. Play this clip.
Talk about the tariffs. And I want to ask you about something you said this week. Got a lot of attention. You were at your cabinet meeting. You said, quote, I'm going to quote what you said, "Maybe the children will have $2 instead of $30.
Yeah.
And maybe the $2 will cost a couple of bucks more than they would normally." Are you saying that your tariffs will cause some prices to go up?
No, I think the tariffs are going to be great for us because it's going to make us rich.
But you said some dolls are going to cost more. Isn't that an acknowledgement that some prices will go up?
I don't think a beautiful baby girl that's 11 years old needs to have $30. I think they can have $3 or $4 because what we were doing with China was just unbelievable. We had a trade deficit of hundreds of billions of dollars with China.
When you say they could have $3 instead of $30, are you saying Americans could see empty store shelves?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying they don't need to have $30. They can have 3. They don't need to have 250 pencils. They can have 5.
But you're basically saying there could be some supply shortages because of the tariff.
We don't have to waste money on a trade deficit with China for things we don't need, for junk that we don't need.
So on that flight last night as well, Donald Trump essentially was conceding that none of his trade negotiations were going well. So Donald Trump's new talking point, I want you to listen to it very clearly here. What he's saying is, even if I don't do any deals, I don't need to do deals. He says, because I'll set the deals myself. He goes, I'll just look at the country and I'll say, here's your number. Here's your number. And that becomes the deal. So why do I even negotiate? Because I make up the number. He says, here, listen to what he says. I don't need deals. Play this clip.
Nobody understands. We're negotiating with many countries. But at the end of this, I'll set my own deals because I set the deal. They don't set the deal. I set the deal. They've been ripping us off for years. I set the deal. Every country, almost without fail, friend and foe, has been ripping us off for years. So we're meeting with almost all of them, including China. And at the end, I'm setting the deal. They keep saying, what are you going to, this is not like a big deal that's going to be signed. In some cases, we'll sign. We're don't have to have sex. I'm going to be setting the deal. I'll be setting a tariff. You keep asking the same question. But when will you agree? It's up to me. It's not up to them. It's up to me. Now, they don't have to deal with us, which is okay, because we lost, under Biden, we're losing $5 billion a day. Think of it. $5 billion a day. Now we're not dealing with China at all because the tariff's so high that they basically can't deal.
But what he's most focused on now is the military parade on his birthday in June. It'll cost us at least $100 million, 50 helicopters, paratroopers, 7,000 soldiers, Kim Jong-un style in Washington, D.C., tanks. This is what Donald Trump wants to happen. Here he is talking to Kristen Welker about the military parade that he wants to have. Play this clip.
The president also told me that next month he's planning a military parade celebrating the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army that also falls on his 79th birthday.
We're going to have a big, beautiful parade.
A military parade?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We're going to celebrate our military. We have the greatest military in the world.
What's the price tag? Do you know?
Peanuts compared to the value of doing it. We have the greatest missiles in the world. We have the greatest submarines in the world. We have the greatest army tanks in the world. We have the greatest weapons in the world. And we're going to celebrate it.
And lastly, I could keep going on, but you get the point. Here's Donald Trump telling Kristen Welker that he doesn't know if he needs to even follow the Constitution anymore. He goes, I don't even know if it applies to me, is the reality. I don't know. And, you know, I don't think I need to follow any due process. Play this clip.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know. It seems it might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials. We have thousands of people that are some murderers and some drug dealers and some of the worst people on earth. But some of the worst, most dangerous people on earth. And I was elected to get them the hell out of here. And the courts are holding me from doing it.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
Is anyone in your administration right now in contact with El Salvador about returning Abrego Garcia to the United States?
I don't know. You'd have to ask the Attorney General that question.
Now, there's a bunch of other clips that I played yesterday. Go back and watch my recap video. But let me just summarize some of them for you right now. I don't want to hear his voice anymore. He told Kristen Welker that he will demand Canada become a 51st state if he meets with Prime Minister Mark Carney of Canada. He says he wants to conquer it. He wants to take it over, and he will tell Carney that he wants Canada to be his. He doesn't rule out invading Greenland. There may be a military invasion of Greenland, he says. He attacks the courts over and over again. He goes on to say that he's fine attacking his political enemies. He then goes on to, what else does he talk about? Attacking specific people from his past administration. And then he talks about how he wants to make a big ballroom. He wants to build a big ballroom in the White House. That's one of his focuses as well. I don't need to play any more of his clips. It's the most deranged, demented thing imaginable, but you get the point right there. I've got a lot of other great videos coming this morning. Check those out. And thanks for watching. Oh, can you hit subscribe? Help us get to 5 million subscribers.
Can't get enough Meidas? Check out the Meidas Plus Substack for ad-free articles, reports, podcasts, daily recaps from Ron Filipkowski, and more. Sign up for free now at MeidasPlus.com.